What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Automation. So today we're gonna do basically what I said I was gonna do last episode, which is just make something that oversteers like crazy. Well, that's the goal, at least. I mean, I'm not exactly known for my achievement of my own goals, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. So for starters, this thing's gonna be about as old as it'll let me, so an 05. So I think we're gonna do aluminum monocoque AHS steel. Yeah, that's we'll do light it. Nah, we'll just, yeah. That's fine. We'll do longitudinal double wishbone, and I'm torn between a trailing and I'm thinking maybe a push rod. All right, we're gonna do a double wishbone up front and a push rod in the rear, and we'll see how that goes. All right, engine wise, I want a decent amount of horses out of this guy, so I think that we're gonna do a V6, and we'll see how this goes. Because basically, like, the whole goal with this thing is just to make it go sideways. That's my entire plan, anyway. Will I achieve that? Maybe. I sure hope so. I guess we'll give it a 3-liter V6. That we have plenty of space for that. We have plenty of space for a whole lot more. Jeez, we could do a 3.8-liter V6. Well, sure. All right. If we need more RPM, we'll swap out these parts. But for now, yeah, that's fine for now. We'll leave this the way it is. Come back to it. All right. Turbo time, aka more variables for me to screw up. I'll come back to that as well. I want to get my entire readout by that point. All right, so we'll do performance, and I think we'll probably run this thing on premium. Ooh, that's a pretty engine. Yay, look, it goes around and around like a car. It's almost like it's a real engine. Engine bay is quite full. Yeah, I've never cared about that historically, and I'm not starting now. We'll give it bypass. We'll give it a high flow. Because there's gonna be 2005. I mean, yeah, we're gonna need it. And those are numbers I like. Honestly, like, this is already pretty solid. 94 point. Okay, there we go. Exactly 95. Okay. And now we'll work from here. All right. First off, let's tweak this a bit. I think we can probably get a lot more out of her. By a lot more, I mean we can engineer some turbo lag. As far as the turbocharger goes, though, we might need to go back and tweak that after. All right, so about 358. Okay. All right, let's actually shrink this guy down and redo this. And we're actually getting 25 miles per gallon. I've done something well. Okay, so we got that early turbo lag, but that's a better curve than I'm normally capable of. Pretty thrilled with that, actually. Yeah. I'm not sure what else I want to do to it. I mean, we can get more exhaust. Oh, I should have done this first. Okay, 353. Let's play with this for a second longer and see if any more can come out of it. 353. I'm pretty happy with this. We're getting 25 miles per gallon. It's kind of somewhat of an expensive engine, but I mean, it's not awful. Weighs 530 pounds. That's not awful either. This is half decent. And nothing's even like totally dying either. I'm okay with that. Let's see what it sounds like though. I am thrilled with this. Oh, that's nice. This is gonna be a good engine. Idles at 700. Its idling performance is better than the Noble or the Common Turismo. I love that. Oh my gosh, what the heck is that? That's not normal. That'd be a great place for a little taillight all the way across, though. Idea. We'll get a little flaring up front as well. It's gonna oversteer, so I think I'm gonna make the track on the front a little wider than the back. Oh, that's a roof. That's another roof. So I want to make the flares accommodate that. That's fine. Okay. Hood, does this go up at all? It does, and then it goes in and just rips its soul apart. I don't know. I think we'll do just that so I can put that little taillight idea there. I think that's kind of fun. Okay, on to the color. And I mean, it's made by the company that made the Ember, so like this would be a realistic color choice. I mean, this would be like the company color, so like, I mean, it's not too unrealistic for them to use that. All right, we're gonna switch it up a little bit today. We're gonna start with the back. All right, I've been wanting to use like these forever, but I just cannot for the life of me ever find an opportunity to use them. Will today be the day? I don't think so. I'm not really vibing with how these are fitting. I mean, it doesn't look bad by any means, but it's not speaking to me, you know? Oh, I like that overlap for some reason. I think it kind of almost adds its own design to it. It's kind of cool. All right, the rest of the taillights. See, we never start back here, so I'm wondering maybe, you know, if I get the back done first, if maybe it'll change the way that I address the front. You know what I mean? Okay, so I kind of like how these look, but at the same time, I can't look at these and not see a Chrysler. I'm actually kind of tempted by doing something like that, where it kind of just leans into that edge there. Although I would need to swap the turn signals. I mean, I'm still just a fan of... Actually, that right there, that's not bad. I mean, I could just do that and then do a wraparound separate piece that comes over there for the turn signal. Let's experiment with that and see if we get something that works. I mean, I guess you don't need a turn signal back there. I do think that this would be a nice fit on the side right here, though. Like, just there-ish. Oh, I'm torn. Alright, those aren't going anywhere. Let's experiment with some other stuff and see what we like better. Yeah, that was a horrible idea. Why did I think that was going to work? Put them back. Okay, back to the turn signals. Are there anything that would look moderately sensible around the edge? I feel like this is... You know, I felt a lot worse about this design kind of thing that I kept doing, wrapping the turn signals slightly, like a thin strip of a turn signal around the edge, until I realized that Kia did it with the Stinger. And then suddenly I felt a lot less bad about it, because the Stinger is beautiful. Okay, now this is going to be one of those days where I grab one of these pieces and stick it in the middle. I like being able to adjust these panels. See, even if you make them black, I mean, even if you make them the same car color, they're recessed now. And I love that. And it actually, you know, it gives the car a little bit of depth. I like it. All right, let's move to the front before I touch up the back a little more. So here's the Leaf headlights. What would these look like on it? Oh my God, those actually kind of look nice. I mean, they definitely don't look bad, but they don't kind of look like what I was going for. So I'm not really sure about that. Where are just some, like, just giant, functional, but still kind of good-looking headlights? Oh, perfect. All right, well, what I've made here is a Supra, and I'm not really upset about that. However, we will definitely be smacking an indicator in the side here. Not what I was aiming for today, but it'll do. You can make this a little taller. I could honestly just make this the actual grill, and just not even worry about making it a lip. Just straight up make it the grill. You know, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe we get rid of the happiness and just shrink it down a little bit to a normal level and then add our own grill. Alright, I don't have a problem with that. That looks okay. I mean, the Supra actually has a pretty small grill if you think about it. I don't know if I like this or not. I'm so torn. Let's do this. Yeah. Let's put it there and then let's stretch it. Not that way. Let's get it fit and then let's stretch it out wider. I don't know if I like this or not. It kind of looks a little odd. Doesn't help the reflections don't carry over to it. I mean, that'll be sorted in beam, but here I don't know. What should their badge be? I'm kind of leaning toward that Pegasus that we just saw a second ago. No, that's kind of dumb. Let's not do that. Let's put it up here. All right, so the back is basically done. Let's throw a plate on here. Throw a plate in a little gap just to break up that awkward adjustment period. Let's give it a rear splitter. All right, that's pretty good. It's a little wide. Let's reel it in a little bit, but other than that, oh yeah, that looks much better. That's good for me. It doesn't look bad. It doesn't look great either. It's just kind of extra. I don't know if it's really worth doing. So we'll just omit that and we'll just write the name of the car right here and call it good in the back. No, it's not even remotely where I was clicking. Why did it undo both things? I should have put the badging on the left side, but I can't be bothered to change it now. Or we could just pile everything onto one side because I don't have any concept of balance, apparently. Alright, I mean, I'm pretty much done, I guess. It's the exception of a fuel cap, which we'll put on this side so you have to walk around the car. There's no way you're not dripping gas on your paint. So I can't mount a wing over the window, so it has to be able to fit within this area and not be that long. So I'm really not thinking this is gonna happen. Now, on one of these lips actually does kind of work. So let's, not lips, spoilers. One of these, I think this one, actually does kind of look okay. So let's see how this looks here. I mean, ignoring the fact that it appears to be doing absolutely nothing, it's working great. All right, I think that it's good. I mean, I kind of want to add some fog lights, so I'll do that. But after that, I think it's good. Okay, yeah, that'll do. Let's move on to the drivetrain. So, rear-wheel drive, sports compounds, we'll address these in a minute. Alloys, we'll give it normal drums, and I'll bump those up if I need to. We'll give it downforce. Now here's the thing. I want it to oversteer, which means I want downforce exclusively on the front. That right there should honestly probably make it oversteer on its own. I've never played with these settings, so I'm probably just broke the whole car. We do not need seats in the back. We'll put a little token bench. Standard CD. Power steering, we'll give it electric. We'll give it traction control and ABS. We don't need an ESC. Advanced safety, so it'll actually sell somewhere. Wow, okay, that's not bad. All right, well the game theme seems to think that this is gonna be heaven. And it costs about just under 11 grand to get the materials. It's gonna want like this. That's the only way to get the wheel spin down a ton on the front. I mean, maybe we want wheel spin though. I mean, if we want to oversteer, the wheel spin's definitely a way to get it. But like too much wheel spin is just, you know, not fun. All right, 176.3 is its actual top speed. I mean, that's fine. 31.6 miles per gallon. So let's tighten the front sway bars as well. And let's over tighten the rears. Let's camber the back a little more than the front. All right, the Accolade Turbo, it's now broken down there for some reason. Okay, let's fix that. After the break, will this be the first good car I've made, or will it be a disaster like the rest? Stay tuned to find out. Alright, so I have given this thing a little bit of testing so far before I popped into this map, and forewarning, I don't know. So first off, design-wise, I think it turned out pretty good. Most of my concerns in automation were pretty much resolved when, you know, the lighting engine became fluent across all pieces. The issue lies more in the fact that the first time I drove it, it just had a lot of trouble revving. So the first time I drove it, every time it got to like 3,000 RPM, it would drop back down to 2K, and then it would get up to 5 and then drop to 4, like all in first gear. But it was just having some trouble. So I tried to troubleshoot it a bit and see if it was just like I don't know what it could have been, but the second time I drove it, it didn't have the issues, but then it couldn't get past 4,000 RPM in fourth gear. So yeah, I guess we'll see. I didn't really have a chance to test much else on it other than just a straight line just to see if it would work, but let's see if it's absolute garbage or if it actually decides to start playing along. I hope it decides to start playing along because it's going to have a really hard time competing against the cars that will play along if it refuses to play along. Anyway, let's give it a little bit of a test here. Yeah, it sounds great when it launches. Okay, it's not doing that rev thing now, which is good. Let's see if we can get past fourth gear though. So it does take a little bit of handbrake to get a drift going. Unfortunately, that was not the goal here. But I mean, then again, I guess, you know, maybe at 100 it is kind of a good thing that it needs the handbrake. It does slide, it just doesn't have a lot of low end power, so it just kind of dies out. Which saddens me, since that was kind of what I was hoping this would excel at. But then again, I did kind of design it in the worst possible way to drift. That low end power, you know? Move! I'm floor. Ah! Go! It's struggling to go downhill. It likes to just live in neutral. I don't quite understand it. If you're wondering why I'm using arcade, it's because it was worse in manual. Oh god, this thing is just a pile of junk. Jeez, okay, it missed every single one of its targets. Okay, so we're back, and it's also yellow now. And I've also deemed this to be the Accolade 2. So, hopefully I've worked out a bunch of the problems. Basically, its gearing ratio has been changed. It has a lot shorter gears now. It also has a sequential rather than just straight manual. Also, I retuned a little bit of the handling. I decided that, you know, it wasn't really oversteering. So I kind of played with the downforce and a little bit of the suspension just to see if maybe it would get a bit better in some category. Also, it puts out 500 horsepower now. I retuned it a bit, and boy, did I get a lot more out of it. And so it's got a little more low end power and a lot more high end power. So let's see if it's actually any decent. Okay, right off the bat that felt better. Okay, there we go. All right, so far I'm happier with this. I mean, this thing's it's still kind of disappointing. I don't know. Maybe my expectations are too high. I mean, considering my skill level, they're always too high. I mean, it's not as bad as it was before. It's quite a bit better now. I'm still hesitant to call it good or, you know, decent or any other strong word like mediocre. It really is just an Ember with more power. It still has some interesting acceleration, but like, I don't know. I don't know what to say about this thing. I think I've driven it enough. Let's just give it a lap time. Alright, so I am neither hopeful nor optimistic. But you know what? Nah, I don't really have anything else to say. 3, 2, 1, go. I mean, it launches well, if nothing else. Come on, go. Jesus Christ. Okay, now it wheel spins like crazy, though. Well, it tries to just slide out in a straight line. I mean, I guess it's closer to what I was hoping for in the first place. I just didn't realize what I was asking for, apparently. Go! Go! Can we just do a nice, gentle acceleration here, or are you gonna stutter some more? So, it was reading 100% on knocking, right? So it wasn't saying it wasn't knocking. But the alerts, or whatever you call them, it was saying the engine was knocking. So I tweaked around with that just to make sure that it wasn't saying that anywhere anymore. But it was kind of weird. I feel like there's just something off about this car, and I'm sure that there will be many places that are pointed out to me where I just absolutely screwed it up. And you know what? I know that there are those places. I just don't know which ones they were this time. Although, to be honest, everything's kind of different right now. Like, the car that you saw getting built to this one is... I mean, the bones are the same, but like there's a lot of pieces that are decently changed because I hated them. I don't know, learn through experience, I guess. And what I've learned is to not make another Accolade. It's an awful car. Alright, and stop. Alright, so I was gonna try and do a lap without the ESC on, but in all honesty, this car is tilting me beyond belief. I don't want to get mad at it anymore. Like, this is the most miserable car to drive of any of the cars that I have made. It's a nightmare, and I absolutely despise its being. Also, whenever I have the ESC off, the game lags itself every single time that it gets so much wheel spin. I don't know why. Like, it never drops below like 100 frames, but it's just, it just kills itself. For example, ESC off. If I can get into a straight line, maybe. Yep, there we go. Yep, see that? Every single time. And it does not do it ever with the ESC on. I don't understand it. This is the only car that will do this. Oh, there we go again. Alright, yep, lovely. But yeah, before this car tilts me any further, let's just lap times. So, as much as I despise this car, and it's an absolute nightmare to drive, and if you turn the ESC off, it kind of breaks the game, and it stutters whenever you accelerate it too hard, and it doesn't like to turn because it just oversteers, but not like a fun way, like a I hate everything kind of way. As much as it has all of those problems, it has gone around our track in a 2 minute, 10 seconds, .49. So yeah, I absolutely despise it. And it's almost the fastest. I want to like it so badly, but I just don't. I absolutely hate it. Anyway, all these cars will be uploaded soon to the BeamNG resource site if you want to experience the pain for yourself. Yeah, so once I get a little more time, I'm just going to sit down and upload a bunch of these cars in bulk. So yeah, I'll have them up and you guys can download them and play with them a little bit. But yeah, like I said, this car is a nightmare, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching it get built. Anyway, in all honesty, the car is probably not quite as bad as I'm making it out to be. Like, between a combination of me just being absolutely exhausted, my eyes hurt, and yeah, I just don't have a lot of patience for this car right now, and it's kind of pressing all my buttons. But yeah, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one.